Hey guys, gals, and other pals. Welcome to part 2 of my Plants vs Zombies Without Ranged Plants series. Yes, you heard that right. Part 2. Go check out part 1 if you haven't already. But before we begin, I would like to thank all of you for your support on part 1 of this challenge. I was genuinely worried that uploading a non-Pokemon related video would screw with my channel, but it thankfully didn't. So without further ado, let's get on with the challenge. Also, something like and subscribe. Day 1 is your average world introduction, which means it's incredibly easy. But what else do you expect from the first level of any world? Pirate Seas also has this boardwalk gimmick, where every level has these lanes that can only be reached by specific zombies. It's a pretty neat gimmick conceptually, even if it's really not that difficult in practice. We're also introduced to the swashbuckler zombie, who immediately swings into action on column 5. Luckily for us, the bonk choy easily deals with it. Who would have guessed? Day 2 and we're already struggling. This level is unexpectedly difficult, specifically due to the introduction of another zombie, the seagull zombie. And, oh boy, as stupid as this idiot looks, they're actually surprisingly difficult to deal with. A bonk choy can't solo them, as their DPS is way too high, so I either have to use 2 of them, or use a kiwi beast. You can probably guess which option I picked. Day 3 is literally just a repeat of day 1, but a tad more difficult. I genuinely have nothing else to add. With this level over and done with, we unlock one of, if not my favorite plant in the entirety of PvZ2, the Snapdragon. I don't know why I love this plant so much, but it's got such a fun design. And luckily for us, the game classifies this fella's range as close, so we're allowed to use him. So, welcome to the team, buddy. Day 4 is another pretty easy level due to the power of the kiwi beast. Remember how in part 1 I asked everyone's opinion on the kiwi beast? I received a ton of feedback, with some of you suggesting that I should be allowed to use it, since the game will continue to get harder and harder, while others suggested that I should either set a hard limit for myself or not use it at all. And as you've probably noticed, I've decided to keep using it. I imagine it'll fall off eventually. Day 5 isn't difficult whatsoever, although I did panic a bit near the end due to the insane amount of seagulls coming from my precious bonk choys. Please just don't hurt them, they're so cute. At first glance, day 6 doesn't seem difficult at all, but here's a little secret. I'm a bit of an ape, so I struggled quite a bit. Once we've beaten this level, we unlock the Spikeweed. And while he may look a bit different from his PvZ1 appearance, he's still our good old friend. Day 7 introduces the Barrel Roller Zombie, who's genuinely a pain to deal with. The Barrel blocks attacks from bonk choy and the like, while it almost instantly destroys any plant it gets into contact with. It's moments like this where I'm actually kind of glad that the kiwi beast's plant foot effect is this good. Day 8 is a conveyor belt level, which I would normally skip, but I think I'll just give you a Spore update instead. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Spore games, the cell stage is notoriously easy, so our little guys thrived and eventually developed legs. Now that we're onto the creature stage, the real game begins. Oh, and I almost lost due to not paying enough attention. Day 9 is another easy level where we didn't have to do all too much. Also, just do me a favor and look at this sad example of a final wave. Oh no, 3 whole zombies on the gimmick lanes? I'm screwed! We also unlock the Spring Bean. This little guy launches any zombie that steps on it backwards. And luckily for us, we can use it. Day 10 introduces the Imp Cannon and, oh boy. They're not necessarily difficult to deal with, considering they're imps. They're just extremely annoying. You're supposed to destroy the cannons from range so that they stop barraging you with imps, but we're obviously unable to do that, which means we're forced to simply sit there and wait for them to explode, which also happens to scatter imps everywhere. It sucks. Day 11 perfectly shows off why the imp cannons are so annoying. I completely obliterated the final wave, yet I had to sit there for a solid 30 seconds looking like an idiot while waiting for these stupid imps to be shot towards me. I hate it. Speaking of cannons, day 12 is a gimmick level where we have to shoot down seagull zombies with coconut cannons. And let me tell you, this has always been my least favorite level in the entire game. Not because it's hard or anything, it's quite literally the opposite. It's piss easy and extremely boring. I genuinely don't get how anyone can like this level, as it just drags on and on. It just never ends. I honestly wish that I had Subway service footage on the side just to keep myself entertained. Actually, there you go. Alright, allow me to take this moment to quickly address something that a couple of you have pointed out. Yes, I should be allowed to use plants such as the walnut, since they have no range. But when I came up with this challenge, I decided against using plants that lack a range category altogether, such as the walnut. I should have made this clear when I originally explained the rules of this challenge, and I would like to apologize for the confusion. Anyway, Day 13 wants us to produce 2000 sun, so I can bring sunflowers for once. We're also introduced to the pirate captain zombie, who will occasionally release a zombie parrot whose sole purpose in life it is to mess up your defense. It'll try its absolute hardest to steal one of your plants, in a similar way as the bungee zombie from PvZ1. This is genuinely the hardest zombie we've encountered so far. Both the captain and the parrot have about the same health as a conehead, which wouldn't be that bad if I had more than like 5 seconds to kill the parrot. God, I hate this stupid bird. Day 14 is a Last Stand level, which I completed with this extremely strange setup. I was sadly forced to use up one of my mowers though, as some stupid parrot stole my kiwi beast. Do parrots even eat kiwis? Actually, let's have a little biology lesson together. Hey ChatGPT, can parrots eat kiwis?
Yes, parrots can eat kiwis. Kiwis are safe for most parrots to consume in moderation. They provide essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C, which is beneficial for parrots' health. However, as with any fruit, it's important to offer kiwis as part of a balanced diet and in moderation to prevent overconsumption of sugars. Additionally, make sure to remove any seeds or pits from the kiwi before giving it to your parrot.
Ah, thanks ChatGPT. Day 15 introduces a new objective, this beautiful line of flowers. If any zombie tramples them, it's over. We also start with a free 3-peater, which is neat. We did almost lose due to imp cannon RNG, but besides that, it wasn't that difficult.
Hi, future Nank here. Past Nank forgot about day 16. It was easy.
Day 17 has this incredibly unique and kind of weird objective, where we'll have to defeat 20 zombies within 30 seconds, which sounds harder than it actually is, since defeating the final wave practically guarantees your victory. This level was honestly surprisingly difficult, obviously not because of the condition, but I just kept getting overwhelmed by imps and seagulls. It took me a couple of attempts, but I eventually beat it with 3 lawnmowers remaining. I'm pretty sure this is the first level since day 7 of Ancient Egypt that took me more than a single attempt. Also, I really hate this stupid captain with his stupid bird. Day 18 is a level with a bunch of pre-picked plants, and luckily for us, we can use 3 of them. Who would have guessed that filling up your board with just spikeweeds and spring beans could win you a level? We also unlock the spike rock, which is just a better, more expensive spikeweed. Day 19 combines Dave's flower line with the sun production objective, which is kind of cool, but this level was extremely easy. Sunflowers really trivialized this challenge, but look at the sweet symmetry. Alright, can we talk about day 20 for a second? This level is genuinely such an oddity. It has the exact same zombies, board layout, and sun production objective as day 19, but it was so much easier. The zombies were much scarcer, and I had to only produce 1000 sun, whereas on day 19, they tasked me with producing almost double that amount. It honestly feels like this level was supposed to come earlier in this world. Day 21 is the 3rd sun production level in a row, and I'm honestly beginning to get tired of these. They're not interesting at all, as having more sun makes everything easier. I'm half tempted to buy Toadstool at this point, just to add some variety to these boring levels. Beating this level also unlocks the 7th seed slot, which means that I can finally start bringing our good friend Springbean. Day 22 is a Last Stand level against swashbuckler zombies and imp cannons, which is a pretty neat concept. Now this is how you make use of a world gimmick. But honestly, it was a complete joke with this setup. I have absolutely nothing interesting to add, as the aforementioned imp cannons took ages to explode on their own. So, here's the grand return of Subway servers, just so that your Zoomer brains don't get bored. And with that, I would also like to thank today's sponsor, you. Your continued support allows me to do what I love, which is making videos, so thank you all so much. And with that out of the way, let's continue. Day 23 is another Don't Let the Zombies Trample the Flowers level. I genuinely don't know why the game is suddenly so obsessed with these objective levels, but I'll take it. I guess it makes the gameplay overall more interesting? Sadly, the Kiwi Beast kind of trivialized this whole level. Day 24 wants us to once again protect a couple of spring beans, which went well until the final wave. The top spring bean kept getting damaged by imp zombies, to the point where it was close to being eaten. I had to precisely juggle my plant food to keep it afloat, but we eventually succeeded. We also unlocked the cherry bomb, an explosive plant that blows up in a 3x3 area. So I guess I can use this plant? Please let me know if I can use this, because I'm not sure about it. And finally, day 25 is another battle versus Dr. Zombos, and as happened last time, we don't get nearly enough plants that we can use for our challenge to defeat him, so we'll have to defeat him the normal way. And with that, we're done with Pirate Seas. And I have to say, this world was harder than I thought it would be. Going into this, I genuinely underestimated both the seagull zombie and the pirate captain zombie, but that is probably because I was addicted to using the kernel pult when I originally played this game. But yeah, I hope this video was at least somewhat entertaining. I had a ton of fun making it, and I genuinely hope you had a good time watching it. And if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, as it helps both me and the channel out a ton. And if you, for whatever reason, hated the video, just go and do the opposite. Leave a dislike, unsubscribe, and go and take a comment, I guess? Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I've got to play some Subway Surfers.